My name is Jennifer DeLeon, and I work at Ernst Young as an Audit Senior. It was actually very hard for me to pick a major. I knew exactly what I didn't want to do, though. I knew that I didn't want to be stuck in a cubicle all day. I knew that I wanted to interact with people. I didn't want it to be an isolated, antisocial kind of job. And when I got more exposed to public accounting, I realized that I would have an opportunity to own my own jobs, build my own relationships with clients, and actually add value and work on real problems and real issues. When I was picking a career, one person that was really influential was my sister, who was also a CPA. And my perception of a CPA before talking to her wasn't very positive. I always thought, they were nerdy, they were antisocial, they were dorky. But after really talking to her about the different career options, that's when I became more aware of what the job was really like. One thing that students find confusing about my job is that I don't have an office. I don't have a standard commute. People always ask me where my office is. Is it in Seattle? Is it in Bellevue? But auditors are more nomadic. We are client-serving professionals. So I might be working in Seattle one day. I might be working in the suburbs of Seattle in another day. I might be working in Los Angeles. I might be working in Toronto. I might be working in the United Kingdom. It depends on where my clients are located. One of the benefits of traveling so much in public accounting is that you rack up so many hotel points, and I love to travel. So when I was in the UK, I went to Turkey, Croatia, Scotland, France, all over Europe, and I even was able to use those hotel points for a whole week in Italy for free. I work with a different team every time I switch a client. It's very confusing because you don't really have a boss. You have multiple bosses. You work with different staff every time you're on a different audit. But basically, we're all kind of in a conference room and we're all working on things together. It's a very collaborative environment. The public accounting track is very well defined. You start off as a staff for a couple of years where you're learning how to audit cash, how to audit fixed assets, basic things on the balance sheet. And then eventually, one thing that I think is really great about the career is that as a senior, you're already managing jobs and you have staff whose work you're reviewing. And then after becoming a senior, you become a manager where you have the more technical background, where you're overseeing the audit. And then gradually you go to senior manager and then finally partner. It's a high performance culture, but I would say it's primarily isolated to a couple of months during the year. We do work a lot of hours during that time frame, but we're kind of all in it together, and I think that's actually when most of the team bonding happens. I drink a lot of coffee during the busy months, and we always have to take mental breaks together as a team to make sure that, everyone is still mentally there after the exhausting weeks of busy season. Number one, definitely keep your grades up. Technical excellence is really important to the job, and we're very focused on quality. Secondly, I would say involve yourself a lot in extracurricular activities. Get as much leadership, mentoring, tutoring type experience as you can on college. There are a lot of opportunities to do that. And then lastly, engage yourself in summer internships as much as possible. It's one thing to have a 4.0 and have perfect grades, but someone who has a good GPA but also has work experience and shows that they're able to juggle a lot of things and handle a stressful environment is definitely someone who would succeed in this role. Accounting is definitely not boring. So in my past 3.5 years at Ernst Young, I've worked on audits, I've worked on mergers and acquisitions, I've worked in recruiting, I've worked all over the world, in Canada, the US, England, the Netherlands. So the amount of travel and the diversity of the experience that you get with all of the different industries is not boring at all.